Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jhona. This is Jhona OhMGee. We are back. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And happy birthday to the Capricorns out there like me. I celebrated my 30th birthday. So excited, the big 3-0. But we are back nevertheless. So today we'll be reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac season 7 episode 12. So we start this episode off with Karen. She's visiting this comedy club where she's going to be hosting her live show, which we still don't know what the live show is even about, but more is to come. So it's called a DC improv club. So it is an actual comedy club, even though Karen is not a comedian at all. So she's like, it's so exciting that they're letting me host and I'm not a comedian. I'm like, okay, but what are you going to be doing? So I do like the space of the comedy club. I think it's perfect for a live show. That is where I would have wanted Giselle and Robin to do their live show, like a space like this. It was not too big, like a full-on auditorium, not too big, not too small. I think it was the perfect size. So she is gonna have a drag queen performance and then a love panel to talk about Grindr. And if it's the same Grindr that I know about, it's a dating app for the LGBTQ plus community, I believe. So I don't know how that's going to be intertwined, but that's what the show is about thus far. So more is to come. So next scene, we have Mia, and Jacqueline is coming over to Mia's house for a visit. So what we learned is Jacqueline's mom, which I thought was really cute. Jacqueline's mom and Mia's stepmom were actually best friends in high schools. I thought that was a real cute, like, full circle moment. Cute fun fact about them for sure. Gordon was really acting weird, y'all. So I guess he thought that it was strange that Jacqueline was sitting in between him and Mia on the couch, but I'm like, you made it more awkward than it necessarily needs to be because you pointed it out. Like, well, if you guys are okay with the seating arrangements, then I'm okay with it. It was like they were looking at you like you were crazy, man, because it wasn't a big deal with Jacqueline sitting right there. I was like, okay, whatever, Gordon. Like, you're perpetuating this narrative that something has gone on between you and Jacqueline by how weird you were making that. So they talk about the night of the Reasonably Shady podcast because Giselle, of course, had to get the tea. So she was asking Jacqueline all these questions. Like, did you have a threesome with Mia and Gordon, who actually paid for your Porsche and all of that stuff? And really just the dynamic between Mia, Jacqueline, Gordon, Giselle is trying to get to the bottom of it. So we did learn that they didn't have a threesome, so they say. I still wouldn't. I still don't know if I believe them fully just by how strange Gordon acts around her now. I don't know. But we did learn that G did put a down payment on Jacqueline's Porsche, so that's why Mia made that little comment like, yeah, it's in her name, but okay, he put the down payment on it and put it in Jacqueline's name, but I guess Jacqueline, of course, still's been making her car note payments, or has G been doing that? I don't know. She was like, yeah, well, it's okay that you know, if you wanted to put a down payment on the car because you love me. And Gordon was like, no, Mia loves you. I was like, Gordon, okay, like, just you're making things more awkward by acting like that. I don't know. Is it just me? Feel like something actually probably in the past, it was probably very, very long ago, happened between Jacqueline, Mia, and Gordon. What y'all think? Comment down below and tell me your thoughts. But that really wasn't any surprise to me, because for Mia to make a comment like, yeah, it's in her name, I knew that there had to be some kind of payment that Mia or G put on the Porsche. It just wouldn't have been any point for her to say that. So she already insinuated that she paid for the car or put some money on that Porsche. So came at no surprise to me. So anyway. So next thing, we have Ashley, and she's having dinner with a few of her friends, including this girl, Deborah, who I personally think she just wants camera time. I just think she wants camera time. She was very talkative. She was like a chat box. Even when the other girl, one of Ashley's other friend was trying to talk, it's like Deborah was trying to get in the conversation. Like she had something to say so quick. I'm like, Deborah is a chat box. Deborah wants that camera time, which makes me not believe her when she throws out these allegations against Chris and Eddie, because I'm like, girl, you look like you just want to be on TV. And I'm like, Ashley, you only been knowing the girl for like a year and a half. Like your other friends have been there like 13 plus years, and I've never seen them on camera. Am I tripping? I need to go back and watch some earlier seasons, but I don't remember seeing any of Ashley's friends. So I'm like, okay, Deborah, simmer down. So Deborah's giving the full rundown when Giselle arrives to the dinner, of course. Can't do it without Giselle's knows itself there. She gives the full rundown of this allegation of flirtation by Chris Bassett. So she's talking about how he was staring at her in the bar, all googly eyes, and he leaned over, you know, toward her direction and put his elbow on the bar, looking at her. And then we see a flashback where Chris was literally, yes, he was standing there beside her, but he literally was in his phone the whole time. He didn't even look up at the girl at all. So I'm like, oh girl, here we go. I'm like, why do y'all act like cameras don't catch everything? Like, before you lie, think to yourself, could the camera have caught this moment by any chance? If so, don't say the lie. And I'm not saying she's lying. Of course, we don't know. We weren't there, but the way the cameras was set up, it's looking in Chris's favor. So she continues on with the story. She says that she introduced herself to Chris, and Chris was like, yeah, hey, my name's Chris. She was like, oh, my husband's name's Chris. And she said Chris made this statement like, oh yeah, all Chris's are all the same or something like that, which, okay, even if he did say that, that's not an act of flirtation just because he made that statement. Okay, cool. You have a husband named Chris. His name's Chris. Chris's are the same. Okay, and like, but cameras caught that moment too, and Chris didn't even make that statement about all Chris's are the same, unless he said it further down the line, but he didn't say it right then and there. So I'm like, girl, what are you even trying to get at here? I don't know. And I'm not trying to defend Chris Bassett by no means, but I was just like, Deborah, it looks like, by the way you're so talkative, it looks like you're just trying to get on TV, child. And Ashley, you had this tea. You told Ashley. Ashley was like, well, come on camera and say that, because I think it's like a way to get at Candace. I don't know why y'all target Candace so much. It is beyond me, honestly. So then she keeps going and says that Eddie was flirting with her as well. And she wouldn't have known that Eddie was even married by the way he was flirtatious and smiley and all of this. And I'm like, so now Ashley feels like she needs to tell Wendy about what Deborah said about Eddie flirting. I'm like, she was like, I don't know how she's going to take it. I'm like, I know how she's going to take it, and I will. She's not going to believe you. So might as well keep your mouth shut. I'm like, oh. Ashley was like, well, I would want to know, but I would want to know. I'm like, yeah, you would want to know because you know your husband. You know Michael Darby was in these streets, girl. That's why you would want to know. We can't say the same for Eddie and Chris Bassett, though. There were some allegations about Eddie last season, right? Like, then he was like liking provocative pictures on IG, something like that, right? Was that last season? So anyway, I wouldn't put it past Eddie, but I think he was probably being innocent, honestly. And I think Deborah just wants some camera time. Sorry. So next we move on to Wendy, and she's with her family. She's still at home recovering from surgery. So she's like, it's so uncomfortable for her to be sitting at home because she's used to moving and shaking and grooving. So I'm like, Wendy, your body told you to sit down, take heed, and sit down. So it was so cute that Eddie, I love this little moment. It was so cute. Eddie said that he had bought Wendy a donut, like some blueberry donut, and then one of her boys busted him out and was like, no, he bought that for himself. And I'm like, you see that? You see that? It be your own kids that rat you out. It's always your own kids. I don't have any children, but It's always your kids. So Wendy did reveal that she did meet up with Ashley, and Ashley did tell her about the allegation against Eddie flirting with Deborah. So Ashley says that, you know, Eddie was just being overly smiley to Deborah. So then he just had to be flirting. And I'm like, I'm glad Wendy kind of didn't make a big deal out of it. She's like, you smile at everybody. You smile at the dog. You smile at the mailman. You just a smiley person. She didn't take that as him actually being flirtatious with the girl. So I'm glad that she said that. She was like, you know, look at me. He good at home. And I'm like, okay, Wendy, yeah, I see that confidence, girl. I'm with it. So we move on to a scene with Mia, Giselle, Robin. Who else? No, it was just Mia, Giselle, and Robin. They were at lunch, so hot gossip. Karen apparently told the girls about her conversation that she had with Mia. Last episode where Mia revealed that she had inspected Jacqueline's vagina with a flashlight, and you know Giselle can't hold water for nothing. So she had to tell the girl, tell Mia, you know, Karen told me this, Karen told me that, basically. And Mia was like, Karen can't hold water. Like, I ain't telling Karen ish else. So yeah, Karen basically told the girl all her business. She told, Karen told Giselle and the girls about Mia and Gordon sleeping with Peter's girlfriend, and I'm sure maybe girlfriend at the time, who was in their wedding, sung in their wedding. The girlfriend came to the bachelor party that Mia crashed, and that night they got it on, or her and Gordon got it on. I don't know the details, but of course Giselle wanted to know everything. But basically Karen told the other girls all of Mia's business. But I always find it odd when you say stuff on camera and then the girls are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you told her my business. But I'm like, you said it on camera, so the girls would have found out anyway. So I'd never understand why they make such a big deal. And all the housewives shows do that. All the girls do that. Like, I can't believe you told her my business. You said the business on camera, so obviously you were okay with it getting out, right? That's how I would have interpreted. You said it on camera. They're going to see it anyway at some point. I just beat the cameras to the punch and told them. But I don't know. I mean, I really don't get it. If you don't want it out, don't say it on camera. They're going to find out anyway, right? That's so weird to me. All those housewives do that. And I wonder if it's just production telling them like, hey, fight about this or fight about that, because that is so strange to me. They're going to know anyway. Why is a big deal that Karen told them? I mean, yeah, you know the girls can't hold no water. Like, they all chat and gossip, but you said it on camera, so it couldn't have been a secret, right? Okay, so we have arrived to Karen's live show about Grindr and Love, I guess. So all the girls are arriving, and Deborah too. And I'm like, you know it's gonna be some mess. Ashley is messy boots. Messy boots, y'all. Do keep your eye out on Ashley. Giselle is messy, but Giselle is messy in your face. Ashley is a sneaky messy. You gotta watch out for her. Because why would you even bring that girl? You knew it was going to be some mess. So Candace is going to bring Miss Dorothy, her mom, and child. I was just nervous. I was sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm like, ooh, this is not going to go well. You got Miss Dorothy, the Deborah girl, who got these allegations about Chris. I'm sure Miss Dorothy going to have something to say. I was just nervous. So Karen did have a great turnout for her event, and I mainly believe it's because of the event space. It wasn't a huge auditorium like Reasonably Shady. They definitely should have changed locations. And locations matter. The location matters. And I say this about restaurants too. Like, if it's too hard for me to find your spot, find the restaurant, or if it's super limited parking, the food has to be like Michelin star level for me to frequent. Because I like convenience. If it's too much of an inconvenience for me to get to the place based off the location, it's not worth it to me. So anyway, the show finally begins, and the show finally begins, and a comedian comes out first, not Karen. I'm like, Karen, why aren't you opening your own show? Why do you have first she had somebody else off, like from somebody else, like the pre-show, and then this DC comedian, and then Karen. And I just thought the order of acts was completely strange to me. So you had the first comedian, Karen, and then you had a drag performance by Jasmine Mathers, who was on RuPaul's Drag Race. I think she was like earlier seasons. Her look just changed a little bit. Not the wig so much, but I liked her. I don't know what she performed because obviously budget couldn't pay for her production budget, I guess. Bravo budget? Not Bravo budget. Had to be production budget. Karen budget? I don't know who budget it comes out of for us to reveal the song she played. I mean, she sung on the show. Not sure whose budget that comes out of. Maybe Karen? No, it has to be production, right? Anyway, so we don't know what she performed, but she performed. And then Karen comes out again in a new outfit. I was just so confused by the order of acts is what I meant to say. And then from there, they move on to a panel. And the panel was just the performers. It wasn't anybody new. It was Jasmine Mathers, the first comedian from DC, and I forget her name. And then Karen. And they had sizzling topics, but really just a Q&A portion because the audience was asking them questions. So they're at the Q&A section, and Mia gets up and asks, so what do you do when a friend runs her mouth about something personal to others? And I'm like, here we go. Mia, you said it on camera, but anyway, let's just go with it, okay? So at this point, she asked Karen in the panel this question. Karen is funny. I like the way she handled the question. She was like, well, me, if I said it, it's true. But then she was like, I'll do better. You know, I'm not perfect. I'll work on it, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, okay, I guess that's a good answer for the audience. But I'm like, Mia, girl, shut up. You said it on camera. It's so frustrating to me. Anyway, so overall, the show was very strange. And I think the girls thought so too. So it's supposed to be like a variety show. But I'm like, you didn't have enough variety. You only had 2 other people. You didn't do anything. I'm like, you should have did a little like burlesque performance or something, like, or even that like Beyonce performance you did at one of your parties, maybe a couple seasons ago. Girl, you should have did something. You weren't even the host, were you? You only came out like 2 times. It was really strange to me, but go Karen. So Ashley feels the need. What I say about Ashley? Sneaky messy. She feels the need to introduce Candace and Deborah to intentionally be messy, because what other reason would you have, right? So Candace asks Deborah, so what did Chris say to you? You know, what gave you the idea that he was flirting with you? And she gave this, you know, the lame little rendition of their conversation, that he was leaning and he was flipping his head over and leaning against her, and he said all Chris's are the same. And I'm like, okay, that's it. Looks like he's just making like conversation with your Debs. So of course Candace is heated. She done called the girl a Sesame Street character. I'm like, oh child, not wrong though. Ooh. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but not off. You know, Candace will read you for filth now. She done called the girl a Sesame Street character, and she didn't want to talk to her. Deborah reached over. She was like, do you want to talk to me one-on-one? She was like, no, I'm good. Like, carry on. She instantly like want to get out of there. So I'm like, okay, so that's it, you guys. That was the episode. Oh, I forgot to add. And then at the end, Jasmine Masters came back to do a final performance. So y'all, the order was really strange. It was the pre-show lady, the comedian, DC comedian, Karen. What's Karen? Jasmine Masters, Karen again, panel, Jasmine Masters? Why am I saying Mathers? Jasmine Masters, I said it again. Jasmine Masters again. The order was just very strange. And who produced this? Her little former assistant. I'm like, why did y'all do the order like that? Karen should just been the host of the show, and there should have just been different acts and not just two people performing. But anyway, so next week the girls go to Mexico and to celebrate Ashley's birthday. Ashley brings vibrators, and Mia and Jacqueline apparently are going to fall out. So that's it. We'll tune in next week to see what the mess is about. So overall, I rate episode 12. I rated a 6.5. It was pretty funny. Had some funny moments, some messy moments, thanks to Giselle and Ashley. So kudos, messy boots. All right, but that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you next week.